Hello everybody, and in this week news you're gonna see some amazing stuff. There are some changes in the rules on how you earn a PAX and experience point, a new section in the logbook, a new page detail in the airport, and also we're gonna make clarification on a rule that was present in the Wikipedia that was miswritten, and we have a small new airplane. We have always released big airplane, and this time is a Piper PA28. Don't miss the news of this week, you're gonna enjoy them. See you soon! Hello everybody and welcome back to SimFly News. This is Roberto bringing you the latest update about SimFly on a weekly basis, so you don't miss anything and you can have the best experience when you're using SimFly. And so what is new this week? Well, there are a lot of things that are changing slowly on the background. First of all, many have asked, why don't you pay attention to the small details, the fuel consumption, etc, etc, etc. Well, some of those things we require a lot of work and are relatively important in the full implementation of SimFly ecosystem, so we are doing them as we get along, as we move on between one big project and the other. So some comes out and there are many variables with many implications, with many different airplanes that have different limits, so it's quite a lot of work, we cannot put one number that is valid for a Cessna and a Boeing 737 about fuel consumption, for example, and so we need to work on it, be aware and be sure that we are working on those, but it is a slow process that keep going slowly. In fact, there are things that we are really pay attention to, for the fact example that we as simmers, we want to simulate reality, okay? And in the reality, when you fly from point A to point B, you go and need to get there as soon as possible with less fuel consumption and so on and so forth. We don't want the rules of SimFly to affect how reality is. But we saw that a lot of people, just because probably they want to pile up a lot of more PAX experience point or distance or for whatever reason, when they arrive into point B, before landing, they start doing like a lot of donuts around in the air, they hold on in the air there. And, for whatever reason, maybe you're using some other platform that tells you there is traffic in an airport, you need to wait, and whatever there is bad turbulence down, you want to wait, but still there are exceptional cases where there are really too much of this. For this reason, the PAX token are calculated on the distance, okay? So point A to point B, that's what you get. Then you can do as many donuts as you want, as free to fly the way that you will fly your flight simulator, and no problem about that. But the calculation is based on starting airport and landing airport, and for this reason the situation of field round, so when you are with a touristic small airplane and you're taking off from a place, do a tour and land back in the same airport, this will result in zero distance. So for those cases, when you land in the same airport you take off, we calculate 50 miles of flight. So PAX tokens for flights will be calculated on the distance that you are covering, so from takeoff to landing, so that linear distance. And in case you land in the same airport you took off from, you have 50 miles. Also here, let's try to do for real, not just land and take off, because then it will be another way that we need to make sure things stay real. We want to stay real. You want to stay real, please. That's what it's all about, okay? So airplanes also earn experience point for each minute of flight, like you always did. But after 3 hours of flying, the experience point award decrease. Okay, when you arrive at 10 hours of flight, the experience points are 0 per minute. Okay, so even long flight, which takes all the other advantages but after 3 hours of flight, the experience point per minute becoming less and little less and little less and little less. So in 7 hours, they arrive to 0. So in this case, long flight, if are real, they're still rewarded. If they're made just to collect things that you will not get there. So if you have to do your 12 hours flight, you can do it. That is no problem. But you know that the experience point past the 10 hours will go to 0. Okay. Other things that is important, because one things that we made it was that the visit to an airport, when it's done the first time, gives the airport owner 3 times the PAX, the rewards, right? What is important with it is so that the community start working together, so people exchange and go visit each other airports. Now for somebody to start visiting his own airport as many times as he can. So now if somebody fly with his own license in his own airport, the reward is normal 1 time. But if somebody else, another user, land in somebody's airport, then for the first time obviously in the week, the reward is 3 times. So you need to ask your friends to start flying in your own airport. Okay, all the details of these things you're gonna find in the Wikipedia. And simfly.wiki, go straight to the Wikipedia page, and there you find all the news about these things. Okay, now hot news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Hot news for this week. There is a new section in the logbook that we call Total PAX Earned. So practically this shows how much PAX you earn since day 0. Why we do that? So you can show off how good you are with SimFly, and also because we had the feedback of somebody say, look, I went to see the logbook of this person. This guy has a lot of assets, airplane things, and he has only 25 PAX. How comes? Because probably it's not obvious that people spend also the PAX, so your balance doesn't reflect how much you collected wealth in time. So for this reason, we also display how much you earn in absolute. Okay, this is another important and interesting information that you can look about yourself and other people. And probably we're gonna make a top 10 as well, like with the Sky ranking, with the PAX ranking, who is the winner over there. Okay. Then there is also something that is gonna come out, is a new section of the airport detail page that is called Live Airport Board. There you're gonna be seeing also who set as destination landing your own airport. So if you're agreeing with friend to come and fly and land in your airport, you see that somebody is actually set his route to land at your airport with whatever mission is flying. And this is pretty cool because you can see where people is coming from, they're coming to your airport, where people are going to from your airport, and this is, I would think, quite interesting. I mean, I find it an information that is nice to see. Oh, now for something that created confusion, I want to clarify something which is very important. In the Wikipedia page, there was a rule that was not very well written, is being caused by some confusion, okay? We removed it from the wiki, we rewritten correctly to explain what it is, and we put it in the terms and conditions. These rules was mistakenly say that is forbidden or lead to a ban to use multiple accounts on SimFly. Now that's not the case, absolutely. Meaning that if you want, you can register 10 accounts. If you buy 10 licenses, rather than buying 10 licenses and put them all in one account, you can put one license per account. And if you have three computers at home with 3 flight simulator licenses and 3 accounts, you can fly at the same time 3 airplanes. There is no limit on this. For us, is okay. So we are not stopping you from flying multiple accounts at the same time. What the rules meant to say is that with a single account, you cannot fly at the same time 2 airplanes. Why practically there is this thing? In your setting, you can create multiple API keys. Why we did that if people cannot fly at the same time with a single account 2 different airplanes? Because there is people that is really serious about flight simulation. They have a full setup, let's say with all the instrument, all the cockpit to be equal to the Cessna, for example. And then in another room, they have a full setup with the full things for a Boeing 737, okay? So he has a cockpit with a 737 there. It would be terrible to have to switch the API key every time from one set to the other set. So you generate 2 API keys, one for one computer, one for the others, and when you're flying with one, it works perfectly when you fly with the one, and then you fly with the other one. The only problem is that you cannot log in at the same time with a single account into computer. It's gonna generate a block of the things. There is no ban or anything else, simply doesn't work, okay? And now that you have reached this point in the video, there is something I want you to do. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends, okay? You can also find us in other social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and also in X, which used to be Twitter. Follow us in all the social media, because doing this will grow the community, and with a stronger community, you will be able to enjoy a better SimFly experience. Subscribe to the channel, like the video at least, and share it with your friend, okay? Now, where I was? Oh yes! What you can do is, if you want to fly at the same time because you want to collect more PAX or whatever reason, or because you are a maniac, then you can have even 10 computers with 10 accounts, 10 licenses, 10 airplanes, and fly the 10 computers all at the same time. This is okay. Something that upset me a little bit is when people vote their own question in the AMA Ask Me Anything section using many accounts. You know, that's not a crime, nothing, but it's not ethical, you know, like votes should come from other people, because that's the idea. But, you know, that's pretty much it. I give you the rules how it states things that operates in a continuous and in an interactive world. So SimFly operates in a continuous and interactive world, means that is a world that never sleeps. There is a continuity in things, having action as an effect, and effect connect to action, right? Each user action have a lasting impact and intertwine with the action of other users, okay? It's strictly prohibited to use the same account to conduct simultaneous flight. One account at the same time to flight, this is no, okay? For example, piloting with 2 pilot licenses at the same time on 2 different devices using the same user account is not allowed. The system automatically detects and blocks such attempts. However, if a user manages to bypass our small control and violate this rule, SimFly is going to take the appropriate disciplinary action, which may include the temporary suspension of the account, etc. etc. This rule is essential to ensure a fair, consistent, and engaging experience for all users. Pay attention, even a ban doesn't mean that you lose the asset that you have purchased, okay? This is very important, meaning that if you invested in a asset and you do something so horrible that you are not welcome anymore in flying SimFly, you may be banned from flying, but you don't lose the asset that you have purchased. You will still able to resell them to other users and then start over with a new account where you're gonna behave properly, okay? But if you have multiple accounts, you can fly at the same time as many airplanes as you want. We don't care. What is important, with a single user account, you cannot do that because it will pile up things on a single account. All right? On more news, we have a new airplane is the new Piper PA28. Many of you were asking for small airplane. We were releasing a lot of big airplane. Now we release a small airplane. The Piper PA28 is an airplane with one single engine that is being built for training, for tourism, and for private transportation. It has a low wing. The wheels are fixed, they don't retract, so the wheels stay there even when you're flying. And it have a like a cabin that is big enough for 4 passengers. Is well known for how easy it is to pilot and to be trusted, so it's not gonna play games on you when you're flying. It's ideal for beginner pilots, okay? And so go get it. If you want to new small airplane, this is available now in SimFly. And now we start with the Ask Me Anything section. First question has been asked by Gianni Romanizio. He has 5 votes and is dated 9th of January 2025. Gianni asks, Hi, sometimes it would be really helpful to send photos to better clarify certain questions, both during the Ask Me Anything session and the SimFly support section. Do you think it may be possible to implement this feature in the future? This is a tongue twister thing, but thank you so much. Gianni, on the tech support is already present. You can add a screenshot. For the Ask Me Anything, something that we can do in the future for sure. That's no problem. I think it's interesting to have a screenshot to understand what people is talking about. So thank you for the question. Question number 2 is being asked by Kindra. The 28th of December 2024, he has 3 votes. Kindra's asked, when will the database of SimFly supported airplanes be dramatically expanded? Right now I'm earning reduced PAX rewards through no fault of my own because SimFly does not support military high-performance aircraft. To get penalties for flights, bank angle and assortment other parameters that make no sense with this aircraft. It seems like an overhaul is needed to support aircraft types by broad class, example fighter jet, narrow-body commercial airliners, small general aviation, etc., to provide wide-scale aircraft support rather than the devs needing to handle code support for each individual airframe, which will take in a coordinate amount of time. I currently fly the Dassault Rafale F-16 and F-35. I'm guessing these are very infrequently used aircraft models among the SimFly community, and thus I can expect these unfair penalties for a very long time. Kindra, at the moment we are adding airplane 1 per time because each airplane has its own variables that are different, and the full system is actually calibrated around commercial flights, okay? We're gonna get at the point that we start adding military airplane or acrobatic airplane as well. I would say that we need to do plenty of testing. In case we're gonna ask you to help us testing those things to make sure that the variables and also other triggers that are not just the variables to evaluate your flight, but as the trigger to evaluate cheating will not be pulled. It's not as immediate as it may seem, but yes, it's part of our roadmap, and we need to evaluate very well what this implies and means. Question number 3 is being asked by Antonio Ferrara, the 10th of January 2025, and has 3 votes. And Antonio asks, hello, what about airports that I have bought and are not present or available in the sim? For example, I have a McMurdo station, ICAO is NZPG, and for the Microflight Simulator 2020, there isn't a mod or scenery for it. I look around and there are mods for McMurdo or close to the base, but it's called with a different ICAO, NZIR or NZFX. Sorry if I don't do the airplane spelling, I don't know it. Okay. For others, I have in Antarctica, I have found some mods. Anyway, I suppose it will be useful that also these mods were available for others in the community in order to be able to dep and arrive at this airport in the default Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery. Maybe a section on this site on Discord could be useful to add the links to them. Antonio Ferrara, I don't know and I'm not sure if a mod can add an airplane, an airport in the Flight Simulator. So let's say Flight Simulator doesn't have an airport in a particular location, and with a mod suddenly you have the airport there as well. That would be interesting. I am illiterate in this aspect, so please let us know if this is the case. But in terms of policies, if an airport exists in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we do not replace it. But if for some reason an airport is not present in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, like the one that you mentioned, in that case we can replace it. So the airport with ICAO and ZPG is not in the simulator. In this case, you can return it and we give you a coupon for you to get another one. You can check the video of the previous week, we explained this procedure. And for one concern, an airport that exists in the Flight Simulator, but there are no mods about, we cannot do anything, okay? So mods can be created, so we can ask about that to people that has mods. Fourth and last question for today is being asked by Wib54, the 7th of December 2024. Wib54 asks, where can I download my aircraft liveries? I have lost them in Microsoft Flight Simulators. All the SimFly liveries can be found in the section of Flight Sim 2 website. And we're gonna leave the link in the description below, okay? You can find there all the liveries of SimFly. Free to download, so you can just take them. Liveries only match airplanes that are present in SimFly, okay? And I hope this answered your question, Wib54. So thank you for watching the video up to now. Please subscribe to your YouTube channel and all other our social media. You will not regret doing so, so go search us in the other social media. When you find us, register and follow us there. And as I always say, SimFly, take off and get more.